Happy Tuesday to
Good
you.
morning.
It is a beautiful day here in lovely, sunny Mexico, and we are thrilled to be here and chatting with you right now. So, what's going on, honey?
My users. I don't think I'm hooked up to the internet, so.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's always telling me, I'm ready to do this. God darn it, no, I'm not. I am not ready to do this.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah, gosh darn it. Well, you know. So, do you want my tablet, hun?
No,
All
I
right.
don't.
So what's going on in
I'm
your world
connected
today?
now.
Good morning, Jim. How the heck are you doing? Christie will see everybody who's on here right away. I'm seeing we're having hiccups on Facebook again because
No.
Facebook.
It's just this is. Oh, we're
Yeah,
freezing.
no, I
again.
can see absolutely. So what I'm expecting is that Facebook is finally throttling us because we're getting close to the end of the narrative.
I don't
It's
know why
crumbling.
I should be throttled. I don't say bad things.
It is crumbling before their very eyes. So we're very glad to see that everything pretty much that we said has been true. We're not conspiracy theorists. We can think.
Good morning, Lori.
Good morning, Lori.
How are you feeling today?
So I'm very bothered by how fearful people are now and just how quickly they can be that way. There was a great experiment, and I really wish I could remember the guy's name.
Good
And
morning, Lori or Karen. Sorry.
what they did was they would answer questions, and apparently in the other room somebody would get shocked. Now, they weren't really getting shocked, but every time they had to keep turning up the dose, 65% of the people would shock the crap out of these people if somebody in authority was saying, do it.
Painfully shocked.
Painfully.
Not just a light little zap.
So they would be screaming in the next room. So apparently, though, so 65% of the people would just do it, doing their job because they were told to. But when somebody stood up and said, hey, enough, I'm not going to do this anymore, if other people were listening, that went down to 10% because other people were like, well, if you stand up, then I'll stand up and we can stand up together. That's what we need to do here, folks. We all need to stand up and say enough. If we don't, I have no idea what the hell's going to happen, and you're all going to wish you were in Mexico. You really will. All right.
We are feeling better. Every day we are feeling a little bit better. Right now, my biggest thing is I'm just a little congested.
Yeah, me too. Sherry says, good morning, but you're freezing again, not as in the kind that I am. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I know.
It's Facebook. Absolutely, it's Facebook. Facebook is doing these horrible things because they're the devil, and that's just the way it is. Good morning. Hope you two are feeling better today. If you want to see us uninterrupted, my understanding is YouTube. YouTube is just no problems.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to turn the volume off on this.
So does the sound go as well on Facebook? No problems with YouTube. Very strange.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if on our business or Mexico Life, if it is doing this also.
Good morning, Clem.
Hi.
I can check. Let me do it on.
Yeah, you know what, Leslie?
And Wendy, good morning.
I don't know very many Forgettes elsewhere. There was John Richard, which was my dad's name, interestingly, in Edmonton, who's younger than I am. He's probably about 32, 33. Feel sorry for that guy to be in the place where I was with that name. So yeah, don't know JP, although I am JP because my middle name is Philip.
He is JP, yep.
With 2 L's.
John Philip.
When I was younger than 12, I spelt my name with 1 L and got my birth certificate and found out I was doing it wrong. What about Fortumat? I don't know what that means. Are you a horse trainer? Oh, you know what? I've heard of this guy. The horse trainer who has my name. I have heard of him, which is interesting. But what is about Fortumat, Joanne? I have no idea what Fortumat is. Fortunat family. I don't know that.
You're going to have to give us a bit of an explanation.
Yeah, just because I don't know the forgets doesn't mean that I know the fortunate. It's not like I made friends with everybody in the
Good morning, Marie from Edmonton.
phone book before my name and after my name. Although that would be a great idea. It's like, if somebody calls you looking
That's
for me.
right. Just reading a post by Pam, some things, but then reading the comments on the post. Bullies. Oh, Jim, I was just reading that before I came and sat down here. Yeah, they are talking pretty rough stuff
It is
about
funny.
anti-vaxxers. And but you can't call a person an anti-vaxxer because they want to not have the mandates, because the mandates are not a law. It's
a word they throw
it is
around.
a scary word, and they are throwing around. So this is
like
what Jim
homosexuals
says.
or what is the word? I can't remember. Homophobe.
Karen likes your shirt.
Homophobe, misogynist, racist.
Yeah.
Now anti-vaxxer. It's just a new word to add to their repertoire. They are dummies because they can't think straight, and this is just what they do. They always go to names. When you can't attack an idea, you attack the person.
Hi, Cheryl and Gary. How are you this morning? It is.
Thank you, Saul Alinsky.
It's disgusting what is happening between people, and Facebook and these places are making it so people can spew this meanness. Really, is all it is.
Yeah.
And no consequences, because they never have to look that person in the face and say, why are you against the vaccinations? Give me a real reason. They just all of a sudden just jump down your throat and freak out about the fact that you don't want to get vaccinated. We discussed this yesterday. I don't think there's any more to discuss really about it. I mean, we could discuss it every single day because it's all the same. And it gets old. It really gets old.
It does. Just because I choose not to have COVID vaccine, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. 100%. But that's just it. They must go that route because they have nothing on the idea. Because their narrative is collapsing. You can't keep blaming it on the anti-vaxxers when most of the people in the hospitals are vaccinated.
We know a whole lot of vaccinated people that are sick with COVID. Yeah. A whole lot. Yeah. Yes, John and I had it. We were not vaccinated. We still are not vaccinated.
And won't get it.
And we will not be vaccinated.
We survived.
We've had COVID. We are struggling with this cold now, but it's just a cold.
I'm feeling better.
Yeah, I like me too. I mean, I just have a little bit of congestion still.
After today, I think I'm going to go up on the roof and just get some sun. Go on, honey. What do you know?
Marie is saying, that's a two-way street. I was screamed at horrible things by my hubs that were politically based, and I always tried to disengage instead of participating. Yeah. That is true. I mean, it's horrible that husband and wife are even getting to the point, or got to that point, where they would fight over these things that really should help draw you closer. John and I don't agree on everything that he says. He's a little further along than I am. Let's just put it that way. But we don't scream and yell at each other. We have other things to scream and yell at each other over. We don't scream and yell like the dog. We don't scream and yell at each other over politics or vaccinations, but
there's so many other things to scream and yell about.
There is. We have plenty to fight about.
Yes.
We do not need to pick this one too. We'll let that to all these people out there that are accusing people of being Nazi, misogynist, racists, which I'm German, so I could be a Nazi, I guess.
Yeah, it is funny, Jim, what you're saying. That it's like, if you won't get the vaccine to protect you, you must die.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make this crap
Nowhere
up.
in history has this ever happened like this. Nowhere in history. Things are insane, and it is not right. It's just not right.
And you can't even explain to these compassionate, caring, loving, peaceful people who want us all dead how contradictory their statements are, because they're living in a cognitive dissonance. It's like a mama And a mama hears her son is a murderer. She's like, there's no way. He's a sweet guy. He's whatever. And he always smelled like bleach. And he was always in clean white linens. But his house was red and covered in plastic. But I love him so much.
So,
she can't see him as a murderer.
Marie is true. Politics, isolation, and social media messed with many, many people's lives on both sides of the issues.
Yeah.
You are 100% correct. And that is, I think that was the plan.
It is the plan.
To be honest with you, nowhere in history have not sick people had to isolate, first and foremost. Nowhere ever have unvaccinated people received such hate. Like, it's just...
Okay, let me explain this to you this way. These people who are dying from the disease are suing the manufacturer, and the government and the insurance companies are saying,
sorry,
it's just a mandate. It's not the law. It's not the law.
Sue us.
So,
you can't sue the people. If you get sick from the vaccine, you cannot sue them.
Because it's an emergency order. It's a mandate.
Yeah.
And this is how they're doing this, because there will be a time when they will be brought up before charges, before a military or before a non-governmental agency. They have to be brought up. And they're going to be like, hey, it was not the law. It was a mandate. You didn't have to do this. Yeah. But you do have to do this, because if you don't, you must die.
Well, and people keep saying it's a choice. You don't have to get vaccinated.
God, absolutely.
Yeah, but then as things are progressing, you're not going to have much of a life.
No.
And that's, I mean, where...
We need your papers to come in the shopping center. We need your papers to come into the restaurant. We need your papers to come to the golf course.
Are you done?
Maybe. I don't know.
So Karen said she hasn't had the vaccine because it was produced too quickly. And secondly,
yes,
then they started pushing it too hard. When they have to bribe people to get vaccinated, there's a problem. When they have to pay you to get the vaccination, there's a problem.
We will give you $200. We will give you a joint. We will give you a free vote in the next election.
Politicians always try to keep citizenry divided so they can keep themselves in power and us not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very true. And it's very disappointing. And it's a shame that I was in my 40s.
And now, the non-litigation clauses have been in place previously. So,
it is a horrible, horrible situation. And until we stand up and say, no more, nada más, no gracias.
So there's apparently a group in Vallarta that are standing up.
Good.
And that's where this thing with Pam Thompson came in, because they've been kind of ranting on Pam Thompson. Apparently, I don't know.
Pam has been feeding this fear.
Well, Pam is doing what's medically expected of her.
No.
Yes.
No. She just keeps.
It's her
feeding
job.
She keeps feeding. No, she gets paid when she helps people, except us apparently, because we weren't, I guess, worth it.
Okay, let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Yeah. So yeah, it is not a good thing when you get paid to deliver a service, specifically health related, because they will always find something wrong.
Doctors get paid, so you can't.
No,
John, you're making a really weird statement that you need to stop right now. Now, okay. Stop. No more. Really, seriously.
No, I need to clarify this. Because the reason that I won't go to the hospital most of the time, because I will go to the hospital sometimes, but is most of the time they will find something wrong with me, always. And my body...
there's a lot wrong with you.
There is. But my body is going to fix it up better than any medicine will. So now, obviously, have not had... Well, I've got that addiction to that breathing stuff, which really kills me. Because I've been trying to break free of this since I was 12 years old, and I can't. So yeah, I am addicted to big pharma. Boo-hoo! But at least it's cheap in Mexico. They really want to get rid of us for a good price. But yes, so what are we here about? What are you looking at?
So actually, they've been researching this for decades as par for the course with any vaccinations, because flu strains are always mutating. That's also par for the course.
Yeah.
Which is why the flu vaccine and those don't work.
So this is hands down my biggest concern with all of this. First of all, had the politicians said, you're not making money, we're not going to make money, the government worker is not going to make money because they get fed, I get fed from you. They should have said that. Instead, they said, no, you must not work. We're still going to get paid, but you must not work. And then that was the beginning of the problem. And then all of a sudden to find out that the guy who created this, Fauci, circumventing the military in the US government, went to China, who is the enemy of America, to create weaponized strains of whatever. And then we say to this guy, hey, it got out, but you can control us because you know how to take care of us. And then this guy, my gosh, this Fauci, he really needs to be brought up on charges, 100%. By the military, by some third party.
Okay, we can stop now. Seriously.
All right.
We can stop.
Yeah, and I'm in Mexico. I'm a Canadian in Mexico. What do I care? Oh, I don't know. 80% of my income comes from the U.S.?
So yesterday, the guys were here fixing, and they fixed my toilet that hasn't been working for like 2 months.
But we do have a
Very
new
happy.
problem.
We have other problems, but not in that bathroom.
No, but that could be why we have the problem.
No, because it happened without that working.
Okay. Yeah, because we have every 2 or 3 months, we have some plug in our system, which causes our shower and one of the toilets to back up. And we really need to fix that. So this guy needs to do that. So we have 2 water systems and 2 drainage systems in the same house. And I'm wondering if that's causing problems.
Well, it's because Greg was an idiot. So
it wasn't just Greg. It was Jesus Next and Juan, the plumber. They're the ones that created the new drainage and new water in the other
And they're
yard.
the ones that lost part of my water softener. So we spend all that money on a water softener. That's no good to us because they lost the main part. Dummies.
Yeah, and that was like $1,000. Yeah, we spent a lot of money on this house.
We made a lot of mistakes. Trusted
gosh,
a lot
yes.
of people that didn't know what they were doing.
This is why I am so against anybody who's like, I'll buy the house and fix it up, because you have no idea what you're going to run into.
We're at the point where I am going by referrals. The person that's here now found a problem at Zach's house that had been going on for a long time. And we've had 3 other people come look at it. One of them came twice. And their answer always was, you need a pressure system. You need a pressure system. And Zach keeps saying, nobody in our neighborhood has a pressure system, right? And these little houses, it's all historically here, it's been gravity fed. Why do you think I need a pressure system? And this one guy, this Jorge, who's now working, well, he's not here yet. He'll be here a little bit later this morning. He basically said, oh, that's the problem. You have pipes up there that don't have caps on them, so there's no pressure being created. So he fixed that, and they have hot water. Their washing machine works.
And it's been over a year, guys.
Yeah, and my poor little granddaughters,
they had no hot water
they
for
bathed
over a
them.
year.
So Chuita would boil water and put it in the tub for them. So that was fine. But Zach and Chuita had to shower in cold water. Or I guess they could have hopped in the tub too.
Yeah. And that's the problem here, is that everybody is good until they're not.
Yeah. We've had a lot of people, like, for instance, Greg, he did wonderful at first. So we used to use him at our other house, and he would do things fast. He was very affordable, but I think the renovation of this house was just too much for him. So he got to a certain point. Mind you, there was a lot of drug use happening and too much booze being drank and stuff. So, and there was a couple of thefts. So we had to get rid of him, hired another guy.
I think we went through 4 guys.
Yeah. The 4th guy is ultimately the one that was able to finish it up properly. And, but even him, we're having some issues with. Yeah. So
it is complicated. You better when you buy your house here, if you're not going to buy a condo, you're going to buy a house that's mostly done, because it will frustrate you to no end.
Yeah. Marie has said a few other things too. Excuse me here. I should get back to that real quick. She said, we do need to listen to our bodies, but also help ourselves when help is needed and available. True.
Yep.
Some of the receptors are similar, and there is crossover doorways to trigger our autoimmune system to kick in. I'm assuming you're meaning because of with the vaccine or just natural immunity. And And then she said vapor lock, so I'm assuming she's talking about our toilet. Sorry, we've done a few things here. And then 50-mile-an-hour winds and intermittent whiteout conditions. Why do I live here again? I saw that picture of you with the ice balls hanging off your hair. I do not miss that. I do not ever wish to have that back.
I did see the coolest invention this morning.
Yeah, John was watching.
Watched a video on snow inventions because I have not been in the snow in 18 years. So I did like, it's the equivalent of, what's that little Roomba, but for ice snow blowing. It's a robotic snowblower that does up to 4 inches of snow, 24 hours a day. It'll just keep going all day. Like, how cool is that? That every morning you come out, your stuff is done, and it was all done by robots.
And Jen and Terry, good morning, ladies.
Hello, hello. So yeah, that is, to me, like, that was the coolest thing I saw all day today.
All day. It's 10:30, but all day.
I don't think I can see anything cooler than an automatic snowblower, because I remember what a pain in the butt it was. And we had a very inexpensive small snowblower, but it still did the work.
Oh, yeah. I used it probably more than you did.
Yeah. Yeah. And
mine's like a shovel-wide snowblower from a gal pal. Oh, I've seen those. I've seen those little ones. We had a bigger one than that. My parents, of course, had one that went on his tractor, so he could do mowing, his riding lawnmower, so he could do mowing in the summer and snow pushing and blowing in the winter.
And if you see this snow invention video, it's about 2 weeks old, I think. But it had a big wheel, and on the wheel was a shovel. So you would scoop it long, it would roll, and you would just lift it, you would push it down. And because it was on a fulcrum, it was a lot lighter. So this guy could go and just very quickly just get rid of all the snow. Get rid of the snow, yeah. It was very brilliant. It's only $180 for that.
Good morning, Helen. How are you this morning? 8 degrees in Victoria.
Which is not out of the ordinary.
I think it's a little warmer here. There were some pretty bad conditions in Sylvan Lake area yesterday. I had a few friends send
45 minutes.
My friend's husband ended up in the ditch and did not get hurt though, so that's good.
Your friend's husband, who was that?
Kathy and Perry. Oh. I told you that.
But I think they're both our friends.
Well, they're mine though more because I'm nicer.
No, what I mean is you could have just said my friend. Because now you said your friend's husband, like Perry is not your friend.
Oh, I see what you mean.
She's a very cruel, cruel woman.
Perry's my friend.
There you go. Now you can say that. Fantastic. So her friend was in the ditch. No, but I saw all these photos, and all you saw was... But he didn't
post it. She did.
Yeah, but all you saw was the blackness and the whiteness. And nothing in between. Yeah. And one of the guys said he had to look at the yellow line, and he just followed that all very slowly with the window open.
30 kilometers an hour. You guys, that's slow. And that's what they were driving on the highway.
Which is normally 110, 100 kilometers.
So just for comparison's sake, Joanne, it is 22 degrees right now with a high of 27 today. We're going to have pretty much perfect conditions today.
Every day until June, July.
74% humidity, like perfect day. Perfect day.
One thing that is interesting, a few things. We had no rain at New Year's this year, which was very strange. Normally a week before, a week after we have a rain. Also, our avocado tree did not flower this year, so we have 0 avocados. Just very strange weather here. So, and now to have this without the rain, very steady. Joanne says, slow and steady wins the race. Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So Marie is saying that the one in my Quonset is too heavy to move myself. Otherwise, I have a 4-wheeler with a blade. 2 different tractors with snowblower and buckets, but I need to practice in the open areas first so I don't hit buildings clearing the yard. Yeah, you got a lot of work on your hands there, hun. That is crazy. And in the snow, yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Snow and fog and even rain. You have to be a little slower and more careful. Hoping to come in April. Is it very humid then? Yeah. Oh, Karen, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
No, April is still a beautiful month. Just take into consideration that April 17th is Easter Sunday this year. So the week before and the week after Easter Sunday are very busy here. And I feel it will be crazy busy.
It will be crazy.
So just so you know.
Joanne says it's foggy today too.
Yeah, and Eva is just saying that it rained, then it snowed yesterday.
That's
so
not
that
fun.
Makes for super slippery conditions.
We used to drive in that crap.
Oh, I know.
The craziest thing was for me, snowstorms and lightning. That was weird. Just because, what was lightning doing in a snowstorm? I hated working in that condition. Because I drove a little Escort EXP. It was an EXP.
So it's not the first time you've been in EXP.
No, I had an Escort EXP, which people thought was a Mustang, and they were idiots that would try and steal it, because that was stupid.
So Marie is saying, would you recommend coming after Easter before it gets too hot?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to say, our birthdays are April 14th and 15th. So if you're here then, but, and it depends on what you want to do. If you can still get a reservation and you don't plan on going too far and doing too much outside of where you want to stay, then Easter is fun here because there are so many people. It can be tough to get reservations, and food to go tends to be a little slower, but it is a beautiful time here. It stays really nice into late May.
June, I think even into
June, July, it's starting. That's kind of where we're starting to get a little more humid and stuff like that. March, of course, is beautiful here.
It is the perfect summer day every day until end of May here, mid-May. So it's the best, absolutely the best. And even in the summertime, we're throwing it away like it's nothing to be experienced. But when the rain starts, it's beautiful here. It's that before rain and the humidity rises. That part is tough. If you're here during the rains, it's fantastic.
And for some people, the humidity is very overwhelming. And I do find that the older I get and the more air conditioning I use at the house, the more the humidity bothers me. But that is just what it is. And so I have to have an auction first, and then it'll depend on the estate stuff. Yeah, you've got a lot going on in your life, don't you, hun?
You really do.
We may be coming down just to get away this spring. Well, you better.
And Jim says April to June is his favorite time. Less people, warmer,
but not too hot.
Not too hot.
Because the evenings do get cool here. I mean, you guys laugh that are dealing with the snow, but when we're used to this, even 20 degrees is a little on the cool side.
It is. I know at nighttime right now we have our window open, no AC on anymore, and it still gets fairly cool.
It gets cool. There are times when I do have to throw a sheet on. A sheet only, though. A sheet.
Yeah.
It's a cotton sheet, so it's a nice one. Costco cotton sheet, so it's thick, but...
There you go. And we have the housekeepers twice a week, which is nice.
Yeah.
Plus in the office. Our life is very comfortable. It's just we don't get colds, we don't get hungry, and we don't have to clean toilets.
Poor baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know I don't expect you to feel bad for me.
No.
Just like I don't feel bad for you living in the cold, because that's your decision. This was my decision, and I'm really happy with this decision.
Now, it did take her 2 years of fighting with me to make that decision, but she doesn't like to talk about that.
It's not fun, that's for sure. Hubs is getting it in the nads when I see him next. Aw. Oh, yeah. Marie's husband had passed away, so she's not happy with him.
Yeah. And we know a few women who've had farms, and they had to take over the farm.
We did definitely encourage my mother, who is 70-something, right, Mom? To sell her acreage, just because it's hard, Marie. It's really hard to take care of. I don't know. You have a lot more. My mom had no animals or anything like that. Not even a puppy. Karen wants to buy ivermectin when she comes. Is there a limit on it?
I don't
don't know. We haven't bought it in a while.
If you buy it in the States, apparently it's cheaper.
So if you can find it.
If you can find it, yeah.
She's in England, though, so.
That's true, yeah.
It's because you have your warm blanket on the other side. No, I make John stay away at night. Don't touch me.
Yeah, Joanne says her father passed away in May 2020 as well.
Oh, my goodness, Joanne. That's an unfortunate thing we have in common.
Yeah. Well, what really irked me was the no funerals. Like, it's stupid. And now with the history behind us, and we know how stupid it is, these politicians need to pay.
It was really, I mean, that was a really hard and emotional time for us because we were coming from here. And of course, we had to quarantine. I had a brother who had, he needed surgery on his hand. He really cut his finger very, very badly. And so his doctor basically said, you cannot see your sister before her 2-week quarantine is up, because then we can't allow you in the hospital. So here, my dad passed away. Everything is super. I mean, we got there the morning after, and I couldn't even give my baby brother a hug. It was tough, very tough.
And now these same doctors that did not get the jab are fired.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were a hero before, but now you're disposable.
Oh, her last name is Fortunat.
There you go. I gotcha. See, you get something where if you just add an E, it's Fortunate. And I get forget. And Christie had Mock, M-O-C-K.
Yeah.
Like, Christie was destined to have a horrible name. And she could not hyphenate because Mock hyphen forget means, do you really remember? Yeah, it just sucks. I'm sorry, honey. I've wanted to change my name so many times and somebody wouldn't let me.
Who the hell changes their last name? Let's be serious here.
Lots of people change their names.
Their first names. Yeah, like I have I won't go there, but
yeah,
I have an aunt who changed her name.
I was fortunate until I got married. LOL. My joke. That's good.
That's awesome. I like it, Joanne.
I had one
Sorry,
person,
Toby, but we think that's funny.
One person did say to me, so when you die, will your last name be forgot? That made me laugh. That was a very good joke. That was
one of the good ones that we hadn't heard yet.
Yeah, that was very good.
Early days.
Well, I remember when and we've mentioned this before, when Chris and I were fairly newly married, young children, we go to Safeway, and this woman's like, oh, do people tease you about your last name? And I said, no, why would we? This woman went red, and Christie's like, you are such an ass, It's just,
I felt so bad for that poor, and she was young. She was younger than us, and I felt so bad for her.
It was fine.
So Marie is asking if we're related to any Mocks in the States. I went to school with some. My dad's side of the family,
they changed their name
when they came across, when they first moved here.
But why would they do that?
Because nobody could pronounce it the other way.
And saying forget is correct?
Grandparents on my dad's side are from Germany. Well, Russia, actually. But
See, Joanne, I don't know how the hell you get teased with a name like that, because that is a strong name. I would throw the E on there. I would have thrown the E.
So I don't know, Marie, if we are related. As I was saying, my dad's family, they were not very curious people. They were just happy with what they had. And so I don't know if a real family tree was ever done other than like the immediate. I don't know how far out it spread. I don't have a ton of cousins on that side. My mom's side, I've got like 36 first cousins. The first cousins, and lots of my cousins have obviously had kids, and some of their kids are having kids. So we have a lot of cousins. Marie from Canada is saying that we can always call you JF.
Yeah.
We can just call him other things too. It's okay.
Christie does. At my reunion, my high school reunion, this is 2-3 years ago, maybe longer. I don't know. Maybe longer.
I think 3.
There was only 2 of us that were from outside of that area that had come. One was from LA and myself. And
John went to high school with a movie star.
Is he a movie star? I don't know. He started
Nathan Fillion. John knows Nathan. They were in school together.
Drama nerds.
Yeah. And look where that got him.
got him. Hey, man, if I wouldn't have got married, I definitely would have gone into comedy. But yeah, you saved my
You'd
life.
be poor
I would be poor.
because you're not funny.
I'd probably be fat and dead. And I don't know, you can be fat and dead. I'd be fatter and dead.
You'd be dead because you were fat. Let's put it that way.
Because I was fat. But then I think about all the women.
From Firefly, that's the one.
Yeah.
That is the one.
It's
Firefly, Castle.
Yeah.
He was in a series of unfortunate events. What was that one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Lemony Snicket.
Lemony Snicket. Yep.
Yeah. He's
Lorianne talks about him. Well, of course she does. All those guys, especially the girls, talk about him.
Yeah.
I got a picture of him because my brother really likes him. I made him very uncomfortable, and I'm not sure why. It was very odd.
It was. Everybody else.
This was at the reunion, so I don't know what the deal was, but he was very uncomfortable getting his picture taken with me, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fangirl. I was like, oh, I need your picture.
He was very manic. It was very strange.
It was odd, but whatever. Whatever. My geekness is showing. Yes, it is, Marie.
Yeah.
But yes, he is that Nathan Fillion.
So I believe we will go.
His mom and his brother are lovely people
fantastic.
too.
Well, I think his mom is retired. His brother is a school principal.
His mom was a teacher at the school John went to.
Oh God. Yeah.
And I was there so often at the school because if I wasn't working, I'd be hanging out because John never actually went to school, although he graduated with honors.
Yeah.
He was a student body president for his last year of high school, and he would talk about nerd. Okay, this one.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we went
to Mr. Robert's.
But I had other
retirement.
Teachers thinking I was in their class.
Oh, absolutely. Went to Mr. Robert's retirement, and she's like, "Were you in one of my classes?" Because she looked at Christie, and Christie's like, "No," and then she's like, "You didn't call me Cookie," and Christie's like, "No, it's Christie."
I misunderstood what she had said.
So Christie's like, "No, my name's Christie," and she says, "No,
I'm Cookie,"
and Christie's like, "Oh."
Because I was calling her Mrs. Fillion because she was a teacher. And teachers were like way up there.
And we're just down here.
Even Georges Robert, we used to call him Mr. Robert, and he'd get mad at us.
I had such a problem.
I mean, we went out to dinners with him and his wife, but he would get mad at us because we'd call him Mr. Robert. And he's like, no, George. George and Liz. Yeah, they were lovely. Liz unfortunately passed. We haven't talked to George
since the reunion
for a long time.
So this guy, Mr. Robert, was in his late 70s, early 90s. He started in
Back
Switzerland.
When we used to respect our elders. You are right, Marie. I mean, people don't anymore, and it's disgusting. I get picked on. No, I'm just kidding. We're not talking about me.
So I just have to say, he was 17, and he would drive the bus and take the kids to school and then teach them while they were at school, then drive them home.
Yeah.
So when he was my teacher, he was older. And like he's in his late 70s now. He's got to be in his 70s, 80s. He's got more energy in his little finger.
Because she was a fortune-not Cookie.
And he has more energy in his little finger than I have in my entire body. Like, I remember him saying, yeah, my son and I, we just got back. We were kayaking in Alaska.
Yeah, I know.
And we're going to finish the trip next year.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's amazing. Good morning, Sheila. How are you? Yeah, it is... you keep care of yourself. And I know people are mean. They are mean. Joanne, I'm sorry that you had to put up with that. Try getting the last name Mock, right? And going to a Christian school. There's a lot of mocking that happened in the Bible. And I got all of those verses thrown at me. Thou shalt not mock. And don't mock me. And blah, blah, blah. And now it's forget. I mean, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't, honestly.
And forget is one of those words that most Mexicans do know.
And yes, we get it. I thought, when we move to Mexico, it'll be fine. Oh, no. Forget? Like Ovido?
Yeah.
Ovido?
They know the word.
So, yeah.
All right, guys. We will see you tomorrow.
If only John would respect you. Crack that whip, girlfriend. Oh, you know it. I am your elder.
2 years and a day. All right, guys.
I'm cracking that whip.
Have a good day, Pat. Adios.
Have a mockingbird. Shut up, Eva. Yeah, I went to school with Eva, so, All right, you guys. Mwah. Take